Hello everyone, I'm Lauren Bretz, and I am cautiously going to share with you today about my son Peter's asthma story. I do want to give a disclaimer that this video is not meant to diagnose, treat, or prescribe anything for anyone. This is our personal story. I also realize that a couple of the things that I'm going to share can be kind of tender, possibly controversial subjects. I really don't have any interest in flying the flag of anything really. This is just my story for my son. When I was pregnant with my first child, Peter, he's now 9 years old, I was very sick and I had a very sick past. So I do believe that did have an effect on his body. But anyway, I had Peter. Everything was great. I waited to have him immunized till he was 5 months old, and I actually only had them give him 2 immunizations. Well, it wasn't just 2. It was just the DTaP and polio. So 5, 7, and 9 months, I had them give him those immunizations. And right around that time, he started to have some severe reactions to some baby food that I was introducing to him. So my friend Corey told me to explore the options that he may have had food allergies. So I did that. I took him to an allergy specialist, and he had blood tests done, he had stool samples taken, and none of those showed any allergies. So then the allergist did the skin test on his back. So he put 25 different foods on his back and put those little stickers on, and it showed that Peter was allergic to almost everything. So as you can imagine, it was a really tough time for me. I was pregnant with my daughter at the time, and we just avoided all of the foods that he could not eat. So, because otherwise he would be puking, having diarrhea. He had eczema. He was miserable, couldn't sleep. It was awful to watch my baby be like that. So he ate a very limited number of foods. So it was really during that time that I just was really digging hard for answers. I avoided all of those foods and just kept looking for answers. A couple of years went by, and around the age of 2, he suddenly got asthma. He had croup, and we took him to the hospital, and he had to have all of the treatments that you have to have for croup, and then ended up having chronic asthma. And that was just kind of a vicious cycle of nebulizers and inhalers and all kinds of things. We tried a steroid inhaler for a while, and it made him super sick, blue in the face, puffy. It was really yucky. So we stopped that because we could just get by with the nebulizer and the rescue inhaler when he needed it. So I continued to research. I continued to keep him away from dairy and gluten and all kinds of foods that would cause inflammation, sugar, all that kind of stuff. And I started researching, underlying causes for asthma and allergies. And I actually read a book called Healing the 5 Childhood Diseases, the 5 A's: asthma, allergies, ADHD, ADD, and autism. So I read that book. It's a wonderful book. I did not do any of the therapies that doctor suggests in that book because at the time it just felt really overwhelming. I had had my 3rd baby at that time, and we were moving, but the information was really helpful. So I also realized that when he was having an asthma attack and we would give him his rescue inhaler had magnesium in it. So then I started researching natural remedies for asthma with magnesium. And I found all these amazing articles about how asthmatics oftentimes are very deficient in minerals. So I started giving my son magnesium every day, and that was so helpful. And then I started researching the effects of a toxic liver. I had given my son a lot of Tylenol and ibuprofen when he was teething when he was a baby. Again, mothers have to do what they feel like they need to do to help their babies not suffer. And I completely understand that, and I am not here to condemn or judge or reprimand anyone, and I do not even do that to myself. I do not regret anything or feel guilty. I tried to educate myself the best that I could, but I was just not super educated, and I didn't necessarily have the tools that I needed. So, and I know that God really allowed all of this to happen so that we could, continue to learn and grow and help others. So anyway, so I started giving him magnesium, and then I also started giving him an herbal tincture to help cleanse his liver. And that made a huge difference as well. We didn't have to use his inhaler as much. But then I got to the point where he was having, in the wintertime here in Indiana, he was having chronic asthma issues where he was just up all night and not breathing, and it was scary, and we took him to the hospital, and we, used his inhaler, and we would use his nebulizer every 4 hours, and it just was not going away, and we tried steroids again, and we did all this. So I called Corey, my friend, again. She's helped me so much all these years, and she told me about Young Living essential oils, and I tried some other brands of essential oils because I didn't want to spend the money, and they made his asthma worse. And so I called her again and cried, and she said, Lauren, these are different. You don't understand. And I said, okay. So I read some books, got the oils, and they totally changed our lives. And I got the kit, and I actually tried a certain oil that Young Living sells for him, and it didn't work. So then I bought the starter kit, and we used a few things that I'm afraid to say because I don't want to sound like I'm diagnosing or treating, but we used frankincense and lavender and peppermint and lemon, and it was just such a huge blessing. So even since then, we have continued to really explore how to help him deal with his asthma. We have way fewer issues. I have not had to use a nebulizer or an inhaler for a really long time, over a year. I do keep those things on hand because I think it's just wise, just in case. And we live near a hospital, and but I also have started to explore working on helping his colon, his gut, because way back when he was a baby, I would take him to a chiropractor, and she suggested that I research information on leaky gut. So I Googled leaky gut, and I found a bunch of information, and it sounded like it was really pertained to what I was doing with Peter. So we have been, working on giving him digestive enzymes and continuing to work with his diet. He continues to take magnesium. And of course I use our oils. He takes all kinds of oils internally to help with his gut, which I'm not going to say because I do think that it really does depend on your research. It depends on your child. But one of the oils that we do use, or we always keep on hand, is called Dorado Azul. It is a weed found in Ecuador. Gary Young discovered it. Obviously, he wasn't the originator of it. God was. But Young Living is the only company that harvests and sells that oil, and it is a blessing to our family, and we always keep it on hand. So we use that, and frankincense still he uses. What else do you use, Peter? Lavender. You don't really use that. Anyway, we use all kinds. Sometimes I give him drops of citrus oils in a capsule before bed at night to help to continue to tone and cleanse his liver. But anyway, it is just such a journey, and I really just want to give you hope that if your child has any kind of issue, whatever it is, just don't give up. Don't give up on researching and learning. There are so many resources out there, so many amazing books that I have read. LifeSciencePublishers.com is a great place to go. And just don't give up. Be vigilant and pray and ask the Lord to lead you, because, Peter is 9 now, and he, really does not suffer anything like he used to. And when he does, we're able to tackle it head on. And we have just been so, so blessed. So anyway, that's really all I wanted to share. I really wanted to be cautious and not share too much, and it's been 9.5 minutes. So I just pray that this gives hope to you and your family. God bless you. Oh, I didn't click it. God bless.